back for another video. My name is Josh Kasick, and today I'll be cooking ground beef for tacos. Going over how to do it, and not just showing me making, but I'm going to go over the steps to cook it. And that's pretty much everything. Now I know this is not really a typical video I do, but I've done two other food-related videos. One where I make peanut butter crackers, and another one where I show how to bake a cake that I made for my grandma's birthday. So yeah, today is making, or cooking the ground beef for tacos. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so the first step is obviously you need to wash your hands. Make sure get all those bubbles. Really sign that you really wash those hands. Alright, the next step in making ground beef, or cooking the ground beef for the tacos, well, first, obviously, you need to have the ground beef. Now, the ground beef, I already set it up that it was in the sink, but obviously it's going to be in your freezer, and since it is a frozen item, it's obviously frozen, so you need to defrost it. Now if you let it sit out since like noon, it will help defrost it easier, but it was actually recently taken out, so obviously it's going to take a little bit longer to defrost. But we have a microwave here that will be able to defrost the meat. Alright, so first what you need to obviously do is you need to unpeel the wrapping here. If we can figure out where it's at here. But yeah. Okay, so now that the meat is unwrapped, you're going to put it into the microwave. Now, unfortunately, our microwave is broken in the sense that the turning table here doesn't turn anymore. So every 2 minutes, we're going to have to turn the meat around. But normally, you wouldn't have to do that. You would usually, what you're going to do is obviously you're going to set the time. So we'll do about 8 minutes at a starting point. If that fully defrosted or not, we might have to do another 8 minutes, like a total of 16 minutes. But we'll see. So right now I have it straight there. All right. So we'll set the defrost. Now most microwaves has a defrost setting. You don't want to use the cooking setting. You want the defrost setting. So it's literally, defrost is right there on the button, DEFROST, defrost. Alright, and then you put in the time. So let's start off with 8 minutes. And alright, sorry about that, my camera died. But back to where we were, I was setting it for 8 minutes. We got the 8 minutes set up here. And now all you have to do is press start. Alright, I'm back for half the time, so we're going to stop it here and flip the meat. So obviously this is what it looks like, as we already know. So all I have to do now is we're going to flip this over. So probably take off this little thing here. Get that off, and then you re-put it in, and you press start. Alright, so I'm going to open, now we're done, we'll see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, it feels like it still needs to be defrosted, so we're just going to go for another 8 minutes. And obviously, I'm not going to film halfway in showing this. Once the first 8 minutes are done, then we'll move on to the next part. Alright? Alright, so now it is done. It's done defrosting, hopefully. I did it twice. Alright. So now we have it. It's finished defrosting, and then we're going to move on to the next part. So I'm going to obviously have to do some new setup. So obviously the next part I will move to the next part in a snap. Alright, so we're on to the next part here. So we got the frying pan here, we got the ground beef here. So I was going to take off the lid. Sorry to cut off there. But make sure you have a spatula. You need a spatula, or technically a spoon, but I think like in the beginning parts you would need a spatula. I personally use the spatula for the entire thing because that's just what I'm used to. But like once you get into like the next part after you fully ground the beef, you would get the technically you would need, all you would need is a spoon, if that makes it simpler. But like for me, I'm just used to the spatula. So alright, so first obviously you're going to need to put the meat into the frying here, and you want to break this apart. So you're just gonna keep kind of use the spatula to keep bringing down the meat until the meat is fully brown. Alright, so it looks fully brown, that as brown as it can get. I mean, it doesn't really start getting really dark until you add the taco stuff and all that. But the next step is going to be draining the grease. Alright, so I'm going to have to change the setup again, so for the next part. So yeah, I'll be right back with the next part. Alright, the next setup, where you get like a empty jar of we have a bunch of empty jars of Welch's grape jelly. So we usually put the grease into this, the grease oil. I think I said oil. I think it's oil or grease or whatever. I think it's more of a grease than oil, but yeah. So you just drain it out in here. We would use one of these, what do you call? I don't know what these are called, but funnel. It will get the grease go down, like a bigger section for the grease to go in, and then this will go in, and so that it would go in easier. Instead of just just trying to drip the grease in there and then the grease going everywhere. This funnels it easier from going from a bigger space to a smaller space. Alright? So, essentially, you're going to... so it's a good idea to first turn off the fire thing. Do not forget to do that. You don't want that flame going on when there's nothing there. That is actually dangerous. So don't do that. Alright? So essentially, you're going to take the lid and you're going to slightly open it so that none of the meat goes out, but you want that. Alright, now that we're done draining, we go to the next part. So, hot from the grease. So first you're going to take, you're going to open up these taco mixes here. You want to spread that around to make sure everything gets this stuff. the measuring glass here. Alright. Got a purified water here. Really, if you get a water pitcher, get a water pitcher. It'll save you tons of money. I mean, if you have good tap water, that is. I mean, most tap waters aren't healthy. That's why you would either buy water from the store or buy water here. But some places can't even get good water enough from the tap that be able to use a water pitcher. But if you do have somewhat good tap water, or if you have good tap water, it's good to save money in buying a water pitcher instead of buying gallons of water. It'll save you tons of money. Alright, so that is at 3/4 here, and we spread that around. So now we're going to go back to medium here. Relight this. We're going to go to here, medium again. And you want to just make sure that all this is mixed. Everything needs to be mixed. All the meats needs to get this, the taco stuff. Alright. So now once it's fully kind of mixed and stuff, all you have to really do is set the timer for about 20 minutes. And now that that's start, you want to stir it just some more just to keep making it cooking and stuff, but you don't have to keep stirring for the entire 20 minutes. I mean, you could do it every 5 minutes, or maybe whatever is comfortable for you. But yeah, you don't have to keep constantly stirring it. So I'm just going to do it for a few minutes, and I'm going to take a break, and go from there. Alright, so I'm back after about 5 minutes. Like I said, probably maybe try. And let's go a little bit lower, because it's probably best to try to come a little bit, maybe less than 5 minutes. I mean, it's really up to preference, but as you can tell, the ground beef has started to stick to the pan, so that's really kind of one of the things you want to watch out for while cooking this, because the meat starts to actually stick to the pan. So I'm trying now to get that meat off of there so you can salvage some of the meat. Alright, yeah, I would say lower it to 3 minutes. Obviously, like I said, it's up to your preference, but I think 5 minutes might be a little too much. So maybe 3, but yeah. Alright, we are finished. The 20 minutes are up. We're turning off the timer. You're going to turn off the cook here, so we turn this off. And this is what the final product looks like. Brown, delicious ground beef for tacos. And that's how you make tacos. Or that's how you cook the ground beef for tacos. Alright, so I hope you guys watch this video and learn how to make or cook the ground beef for tacos. If you haven't learned how to do it, it's a lot of fun. Cooking, especially, and I love tacos. They're delicious, so it's a great way to learn how to make them. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you are new, subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified for my next upload. My YouTube channel website link, my Twitter, my Snapchat, and Instagram are always in the description. And thank you. Goodbye.